My main screen is being shared. There we go. All right. Better. Yeah, it was confusing me there. All right. So how's everybody doing? Good. It's not really my main screen, Justin. It's that screen. That's the main one. All right. Is Ethereum a better prospect than Bitcoin trading up and down? I don't know. We can check it out. So it is 5:01. We are starting. This is a picture of Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Looks like my man Steven picked it out here. So pretty Tennessee. It's probably from October, maybe, with the leaves changing. We did a video shoot in October and had pretty skies like that. All righty. Let's jump into it, shall we? So let's see. Let's see. This thing being awesome. All right. There we go. So remember, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational only. It is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument I talk about. If you desire personal financial advice, consult a financial advisor. And let's jump into 30 minutes of awesome. I'm going to try to give you a full 30 minutes of charts and stuff that you request. So we've been looking at this big old pattern here. Now, anybody tell me what's coming up tomorrow? Anybody know? 2 p.m. tomorrow. FOMC, that's right, the Fed. So what happens at 1 p.m. tomorrow? I'll share that with you later. Oh, eye itching. All right. So this is the S&P 500. We have been in this big corrective pattern since the 5th of January. Correction. Tried to break out in March. Couldn't do it. And we've been correcting down for the rest of April into May here. And where's the bottom? Well, I think we need one more push lower. That's where it really makes sense. If we get a push down in anything below 4,000, really kind of flush this out and make it look great. Just resolves a lot of conflict on this chart. Now, the last 2 days, yesterday we got a big push lower, had to jump down on the time frame. And yesterday we got this big push lower to a lower low than we had back in February, and then we kind of moved up. But this move up has only been like three pieces. Like 3 waves. So if we go look at it right here, it's like an A, a B, and then kind of a C, but I think it's going to push up just a little higher right in this 210 area, or 4210 area, excuse me, possibly overnight, and then maybe right into the Fed meeting tomorrow. See a little of this right here, and then I'll run down. Now, if we get that spike down after the Fed, or even going into the Fed, if it spikes down, like one way or the other, it's either going to spike down before the Fed announces or after the Fed announces. One way or the other, we're probably going to see a touchdown in here. It's just highly likely, somewhere below 4,000. And then once that happens, we open up the gates to run higher, finally. Now, there is a standing risk that we could see a push down to like 3,800, an extension. That could happen before we blast off, but it is much more likely by running all the numbers and all these little echoes and waves all coming on down through here. Everything kind of resolves and has a nice support if we bottom out right in here, kind of in this zone like this, right in here between 4,000 and 3,950, somewhere in there. And then we see a blast off here. Now, zooming back out a little bit. Hey, Dinah, glad you made it. Yeah, yikes. I mean, that's not too bad. So what we're looking at is like, we're at 41.73. So we're looking at like 173 points down, maybe, a little more than that, maybe up to 200 points down. But the potential here, once we do that, we're looking at this move out to 5,000, 5,200, 5,300, and possibly even to get an extension out closer to 6,000. So once this wraps up right here, we've got this potential building. Now, move this over to the low. So we'll have a resistance that we'll have to clear and get through up here around 44.70. The real tell to me is when we cross through 4,300 and we don't really look back. Now, what we may see is a move. Let's see, clear. Didn't mean to start that arrow. It's gonna be a pain, huh? I see how it is. The keyboard is not responding. So if we see a move like this, comes up just shy of the B, it can be up to here, somewhere in this area, we're gonna see a retrace. It's gonna happen. It's probably gonna be like 61.8% retrace. So wherever we bottom here, we're gonna get a move up, and then we're gonna get a retrace right like this. That's like your secondary buying opportunity. If you're scared now, and we see this move up and retrace here, this is where you get your opportunity right here. We retrace back down in here. So this is what we got right now. We're gonna see probably a push lower in the next day, and then Wednesday, 2 p.m. when the Fed announces, we're going to get some resolution of what's happening here. We'll probably see this move up and a retrace before we can get a bigger move out. All right. That's what we got so far. And we're going to kick off this move. I'm not going to say that it's going to, we may not see new all-time highs until the fall. I mean, this is probably going to be flatter. I'm kind of drawing it a little optimistically, but it'd probably be more something like this, and this move up probably a little flatter like this. I mean, you can see how it kind of runs a little bit and then pulls back and runs a little bit. So we'll probably see something like this. Could take us into the fall, and it might even stretch out past the election before we see all-time highs, new all-time highs. All right, so 4803 is the top there that we're looking for. So that's the optimistic outlook moving forward. Now, in the short term, like I said, probably going to see one more lower low. Now, I took care of I added probably about 2 o'clock a 4,100, 4,000 debit spread where you buy the 4,100 put and you sell a 4,000 put underneath it on SPX for, I think I spent around $29 on that. So about $2,900 for a potential 7,100 profit on that move. And that would be if SPX dropped all the way to 4,000. So it probably won't make the full profit because it's not going to hang out there till May 28th. That's the expiration I used. So it's probably going to be down here and then take off again. All right. Nasdaq. This one was at 12,700 yesterday. I'm kind of looking for this 11,700. So there's the potential we could see another 1,000-point bleed off in Nasdaq. Just be aware. So this could take down Apple, Google, Netflix, Facebook, Tesla, all the big names that compose the Nasdaq. It's Nasdaq 100 E-mini futures right there. So this thing has that same corrective ABC type pattern. it actually more perfectly bounced right off the 618 retrace, which gives me even more confidence that we may see it reach this 100%, where equality between the A and the C happens down here at about 11,700. Right now, we're not blasting off. We haven't been blasting off, so this thing pushing lower seems likely to me. That may happen. I mean, it may wrap it all up tomorrow. Like this may be all over tomorrow. Russell pushed down to a substantially lower low, but it's kind of out in no man's land. Then we may see another push lower into this 1800 area down here. If everything else is bleeding off, this one may bleed off too. Now, it also has kind of held the support zone right here that is the equality on the moves. And if it starts breaking out higher, it could lead the market out of this correction. So just beware. It has the possibility of being ahead of everything else and leading the market out because it has already reached its kind of equality move coming down through there. Oil. Still kind of feel like it's winding up for a push lower. So far, it hadn't invalidated anything. It's just been consolidating right here, staying below the high, staying above the low that it made back in April. Those swings are getting smaller. You see this was a bigger swing. It's a smaller swing, smaller swing. That's kind of like a wind up for an outsized move to the downside, where you get these like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 type setups. So just be aware, be cautious if you're long oil things. Now, one that's not so corrective, natural gas. Saw a higher high on natural gas this morning, and it's set up to break out to some even higher highs. The 845, whatever it is, per 100 cubic feet or whatever it is next up for the targets. And then above that, 909. Now, how I'm playing NG is with UNG. We put out a profit wave report back here in February to get long. And right now, I'm probably going to get off the ride if we see a move up into this 31 to 35 area. 35 is my ideal target, but I do understand that we may come up short at around the 31 area. So it's not a ton of move left on that. We were at 27, 27, almost 28 earlier today. And we may see a move up to this 31 to 35 area. So do I take my entry for the put buy option from the daily chart? Which thing, Nicole? We're talking the S&P 500. I have a whole mess of stuff going on in the S&P 500. I actually watch very small time frames, usually 5-minute charts. That's what I was looking at all day right there, that hot mess. So see how we lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high in the close here. It's on timeout until 6 o'clock. So right now, this a set of lower highs. But on the flip side, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So it's squeezing. I feel like the potential here is for it to pop down, not up. All right. That's what I see on the, I tend to watch these small time frames. I jump up and down time frames all the time. So I do keep track of levels on the daily. I keep track of levels on the hourly. I keep track of levels all the way down to 5 minutes, sometimes even 1 minute, sometimes even 377 tick charts. If something's just not being clear on the minute chart. All right, gold. Jump back out to the daily. Now, just big picture, it's super easy to kind of find target areas. So last week I was talking about that we likely see a move down to retest this trend line. Well, we almost got there today at tail 1850 and the trend line roughly 1840. So we came within 10 points. That was a pretty good call that I've had going for a couple weeks now. I think I mentioned that when we came off of the highs so severely that we'd probably likely see a retrace back to this trend line. It's been holding up since all the way back in August last summer. Every time we make a substantial low, we kind of hold this trend line. And looks like we're going to test it again. Now, if we break down, it's probably over for gold for a little while. And we can push down in here in this zone from the lows all the way at 1670 all the way up. You know, it can find support down in here, but it starts increasing the odds that we can see a push down to 1620 level that I've been talking about. It seems like since I started doing this back in the fall of last year. Now, this was a 3-wave move right there. If it holds support here, it can turn bullish and we can actually see all-time new highs in gold. So this is kind of like coming up on the decision point right now. The decision point. Do we see it blast off or do we see it break down? Yeah. The question leading up into me getting started today, is Bitcoin better than Ethereum, or is Ethereum better than Bitcoin for catching moves and trading them in and out? Well, right now, Bitcoin is pushing the luck here. See, gold, we have that long-term trend line. This one not quite perfectly on the line it up here. Get it all on the tails here. So yeah, yesterday and today, trying to push below this trend line. You're poking below just a little bit. Now, today it looks like we might actually close below this trend line, although we're closing higher than we opened yesterday, or I guess that's 2 days back. Little green one in between there. That was Sunday. Looks like Sunday we tried to push down, retraced hard. Today we're pushing back down. So if we see this, we can see a break of the trend line, and that opens the door for the possibility of getting down here into this zone. We can see prices anywhere from 32 down to 29. So it's 32,000 to 29,000. Now, if we can bounce off of there strongly, then we'll likely see a higher, at least a move into the 50,000s, if not higher, to my target that I've been talking about since last year of 80,000. So Mara kind of crushed itself and went down to the support at 15, and it's got to recover at this point. Now, Ethereum has not yet tested this trend line. So right now, Ethereum has more bullish bias right now than Bitcoin does. I can remove off this line. Everybody see like the low here, and the current low has not yet tested that trend line. So this maintains bullish, just like gold for now. If we bounce off and go up, it can be bullish. So yeah, so yeah, Dex, if you can't remember the ticker, I can't look at it. So bullish bias, or as far as what I think on Ethereum and Bitcoin, well, the ratio right here looks like it's going to bounce here and go up, which means Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin. And I've had that going for a little while. These are not new arrows. Those are arrows I drew on there back when we were up here. So retrace to what I call the roadmap line, the potential to break out again. We'll retest the 618 level, which it will be resistance in the ratio. If we get above that, we could see a breakout to all-time new highs, and possibly a ratio of 10% Ethereum to Bitcoin. Now, it's got a long way to go to catch up all the way. But right now, that's what we're looking at. This is kind of a slightly bullish setup. And those arrows have been on there for a couple weeks. So the gold and silver stock, ARKK, we can bring it up and talk about it. Looks like it's going to the toilet to me. That's a downtrend with a broke channel and boo. How low can she go? Let's take a look. See if we can figure anything out here. Grab the magnet. Magnet. Yeah, so it doesn't find support right here around 46. If it can't hold that, which it looks like it tested out. Zoom up just a little bit more. Probably gonna turn off the pivots, make this clear. So not counting today, the 3 days prior, it was holding that, tested it once, tested it twice, tested it 3 times, my lady. Thank you, Kathy Woods. All right. It runs down right here. You can retest the low from back here during the COVID crash, COVID correction, whatever you want to call it. Snap onto, this is why I don't like the snap tool. It is not snapping to the right candle. Somewhere down in there around the low 32.90-ish. I don't see the low showing up on there properly. Yeah, so that's what we got for now. It's either going to hold this 786 or push down, and then if it can't hold the prior low, then you start doing some extensions down to like 21. So doesn't look super awesome, right? All right, have I sold any of my Mara? Full disclosure, yes, I did. The reason was I needed some margin. I got margin call. I had to sell 400 shares. The rest of the position is still standing, but I got a margin call, got jammed up on this drop. I had to sell, had to liquidate a lot of stuff. That's the truth. So we've written about a couple of margin calls I've gotten in newsletters. So, all right, AMD. Yeah. So we're going to start taking requests. If you're new here, welcome. I do requests for, I'll do requests for another 10 minutes or so, probably. So you can get them in the chat. I'll try to keep up with them. Looks like, yeah, nice big pop. That's a beautiful place to reverse. Came just a couple points shy, and it was a great place to reverse. So resistance coming up at the daily 144 EMA when we get up there. There's a lot of stuff going on in this, a lot of levels on this chart. Let's see if we can, this will move over here. This one will move over here. Yeah, so coming up at 127 is going to be the resistance point at this point. So we got lots of runway. That's what, 30 points from 97 to 127. So it looks like we'll go up here and test that again. That was resistance, resistance, resistance coming across there. Got a nice band. Looks like we could pull this guy down. So we'll have some resistance in this whole zone right here. That one probably go away. So we got some resistance built up around that 618, around 127 area. This was probably an A. Not sure if that was the B, and then the C down here. It looks sloppy. It looks more like a WXY type situation. That's what we got right now. So, and there will be the 144 EMA right in there that it could bounce off of first. So it could see a bounce, a little like resistance coming up through there. And it's looking at it. That's about the 107. So it could retrace like this a bit before it gains momentum to pop up through like that. All right, that's AMD. PBIO. Well, what makes that looks bad. I'm not gonna lie, that is a horrible chart. So looks like it went public in 2019 and it was corrected. Started out corrective. Yeah, it's gnarly. Most IPOs will make a bottom substantially below their initial price. Like when I say most, it's like 90% or maybe even higher, maybe 95%. They start out in a correction because when they go public, that's like they're finishing up their the growth of the company that you can't see. Like it's and then they enter a corrective phase as the public tries to figure out their real true value of that company as a public company. So you can see lots of three-wave moves. Like that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So somewhere down here, it's going to make the ultimate bottom, and then it'll make a proportional 618 retrace and kick off a run higher. So right now, this happens over and over. I mean, another one you can see it on right here, coin. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And this one, it's entirely possible that we see a breakdown below this 115 area and come visit this 70 area down here for coin. You can tell me I'm crazy, you can tell me I'm wrong, but this happens over and over and over on new IPOs, even if they've got record valuations. I mean, here's another one, Hood. It didn't even make this. I was guessing that it might see a 1, 2, 3 up before it went down, but it just pooped out and started going down. So we can go through most IPOs that have happened recently, and they just start out in a corrective type situation. And there's Beyond Meat. I'm still looking for a move down to probably 2350 area. It's all corrective. All right. Apple, Microsoft. Apple right now has this correction going. I liquidated all my shares. I've been holding shares for a while. And unfortunately, now I see this potential where we're going to go visit maybe the 140 or all the way down to like 120. I got like a 123 on my other chart that looks like potentially could happen. This 140, 140 to 150 area seems highly likely right now. So be careful on Apple. Microsoft, looking for a bottom. At some point, we'll retrace up and retest this orange box again. It may only get to the 144 EMA. If it can't do that, or if it finds resistance anywhere in there, probably make a lower low again. All right. Johnny, just got here. Will the replay be sent out? It's on YouTube, my man. You can go right over to YouTube, check out my channel, like and subscribe, and click the bell for notifications and all that junk while you're there. But you can hit the live stream and replay it from the beginning. So crude oil, we kind of covered that already. Dave. All right, ENPH. I covered all the futures to begin with. I included S&P 500, Nasdaq, Russell, crude, and gold. And then we went through a little bit of crypto. So in phase, that's pretty flat right there. We've got this, it's in a giant box, basically. there's the range. It's right smack dab in the middle of the range. So no clear pattern. It's been a sideways for a while, a long while. Not much to predict right there. That's one of those, like, I expect it to go sideways more than anything else. Stay in the range. It's got higher lows, lower highs. You know, while it does have a series of higher highs, it's still lower than back here. So until it can do something, sideways would be what I would guess. All right, CEM. That's going to be a double dip trade. Looking for a breakout to this 44 level. It hit target 1, it hit target 2 off of this pullback from November, December, and then it's been running up. It's got smaller pullbacks coming in here, but I'm looking for a move up to this 44 level with my share that I have myself. All right, Delta Victor November. Sure thing. Looks like didn't do a full retrace, so it's potentially going to break out higher and hit the, break out higher and hit the 68 target up here. Looked like it would retrace, but it didn't. So stretching out to the 68. If it breaks through 68, 102 is like the next move, next higher target. That's a lot of free space up there. Probably take, if you were to look at this move here and pull it up like this, it gets pretty darn close up there. And take you out to late summer into the fall. All right, ADM. It's in Archer Daniels. Yeah. Looks like, wow, what a move. Last big pullback it did. We're stretching out to some extensions here. Makes it likely to get a deeper pullback. Let's see. And y'all hear that peel out on the street out there? Redneck life. All right. Mm-hmm. 4236, 272. Be good. And so that one may pull back to 78. May. Doesn't have to. It may. Could see a pullback like this. And then we can see a pull, a launch out. Of course, at that point, you would have another fib. Did that the wrong fib. Yeah. It's like if we get that nice big pullback, this, of course, 103, 111, but 127 is where we get some confluence of some levels here. But that's all guessing at this point. All right. Twitter is not going to do anything. This is the path for Twitter until they go private. They're going to slowly move up to this 54.20 price that the buyout was agreed on. That's the only thing that's going to happen. It's just going to bleed up slowly to that price as the deal firms up. Whenever it closes, it'll go private. Not much to do unless, and the reason this other big blue arrow is on here, if the deal falls apart, we get a pullback before anything breaks out. So Twitter is like virtually untradeable unless you're doing like a fixed gain running into the buyout. Tesla, I put a 1350, 1550 debit spread on out to August. Why did I do that? Because it had an 18-to-1 reward versus risk. Like it was going to pay me 18 times what it cost me if it moves up into that 13 to 1500 area. Well, it'd have to move all the way up to 1500 to pay out the full, but it had quite the high payout ratio. And I just did it last week sometime. I don't remember what day it is. It's up slightly today. It's like a $11 cost, I think it was, with a possibility to return 18 times that and potential profit. So it's like a $200 spread, and it cost me like 11 bucks. So that's why I did it. Another friend of mine commented that August may be too short. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, look at some of these rips. If it just did this rip that it did right here, let's do it. We just do that again from right here. Gets us right up to 1500. I've been looking for 1500 for a long time. So this setup right here, whereas a higher low, that got me interested. 1500 is kind of the target area. So, all right. I'm going to do just a couple more and then I'll wrap it up here. XOP looks like it could pull back, but that could be all the pullback it needs without running like echoes and stuff on it. That looks kind of like an echo trade. All right, there. Look at that pullback. And yep, look at that. Perfect echo trade. So that's a potential breakout to higher levels. VDE. Same, almost the same exact chart right there. All right, NVDA. Try to catch up real quick. Looks like it's gonna go down to 172, 173. Is up slightly, probably on AMD's news, but looks like it's gonna retrace a little deeper. All right. I'm trying to catch up to the chat here real quick. So VZ. Yeah, that one's going down the toilet. Maintains that orange line. It's lower lows. All right, UNH, United Healthcare, I think. Yep. Probably pull back to the roadmap line there. 144 EMA. Looks like it's going to come back. And then it'll be a new setup for roadmap type trade if it bounces right there and finds support. AMC, I was looking at that today, actually. If it holds, if it can hold a higher low than it had back here, in March, it can get bullish, but right now it looks like it's probably going to go back down to 9. All right, Netflix. Yeah. What do you want? I mean, same thing, like 147 is the next. If it can't hold where it is now, right there, support is a support. Then 140 area is the next one down. So, DIS, been bearish on Disney, and it's, keep it on the path. Down, down, down. Next level down is 97. Now, PayPal. Anybody was following me on that one? I was looking for 85. It hit in the promised land right there. It tagged it. And if it starts breaking out higher, that can be super bullish. I was looking for that retrace for all the way back in the fall. I think it was back in October. I think I picked 85. So, all right, CLF. Yeah, roadmap bouncing. That's a roadmap trade potential setup. Cleveland Coast. I think that was on the roadmap list for the week. All right, AT&T is so AT&T or ATT. ATT looks like it's going to the toilet. AT&T looks like it's going to the toilet too. Do you know our federal government just outlawed, or in 2019 they outlawed regular copper telephone wires? Our company had to get VOIP recently. Camping World has the opportunity to recover coming out. This is more of a seasonal type trade. If we look back into April, April, May last year, it was on a run. This year, not on a run. So this one could be a catch-up trade for camping in the summer, recovery type situation. But right now, I don't know. It looks like it's going to retrace deeper to me. Potential to retrace down. All right. That's kind of going to wrap it up here. Let's see a few more questions. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get to them all. So tell you about something new I got coming up tomorrow. So one more thing before you go, share it with you. Give me a second. I built a system for trading the overnight gap on IWM. IWM is the Russell 2000 ETF. We've talked about it on and off a little bit over the last 4 months. I've had a group of traders doing it, and we've seen some unbelievable success. We had 48 trades. 39 of those have been wins. 9 are losses. That's an 81% win rate. The total return of those 48 trades, winners and losers combined, is over 1,700% in the track record. So the average trade, winners and losers combined, generates 30%, 36% gain on the money you throw at it. So, of course, these returns aren't guaranteed to continue forever. I may take a string of losers and destroy that track record. It's entirely possible. The gap may never fill again. That's entirely possible. But right now, I've traded it with a small group of beta testers, and some of which have seen it results way better than mine even. So it's been pretty insane. Like Tim Rush here, in at 70 cents, out at 94 cents. Lynn in at 77 cents, out at $1.75. And then Dickens in at 87, out at $2.96. And once again, I'm not saying anyone else will ever make crazy wins like these again, but I'm pretty proud of these traders, and they keep racking up wins like these. I think some of y'all are here tonight. Last week, Marquet Latimer came in. That's one reason I was late last week. She grilled me about this whole thing, and we're going to release the details about it tomorrow. So we had this face-to-face interview that we recorded, and we're going to detail it out. Everything in the system was covered. The track record, the best trades, the losses, the beta tester success stories, how we place the trades, how you can start trading with us as soon as Thursday. Why Thursday? Because tomorrow is when we're going to tell you about it. But you need to sign up to be among the first to get the information on this, the lowdown. So to do that, go to jeffreytrader.com/surges. You can see it when we release it tomorrow. Any questions on it? Be the first to jump in. All right. Thanks for coming, everybody. Nothing to sell. Just sign up and see the interview. So me and Marquet working together. All right, Bruce. That's one for you, Steven, right there. Thanks for coming, everybody. Replay is on YouTube. Or like as soon as we finish this, the replay is on YouTube already, so you can go watch it. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Come back next week for more of this content. We broadcast it live on YouTube as we go. And if you're wondering, if you're in YouTube and you're like, where the heck are all these questions? They were in Zoom. The link will be in the description. And come join us live in Zoom next week. Thanks, everybody. Spread on Tesla is a 1,300 long and a 1,500 short. Maybe 1,350 and 1,550. I'm not 100% sure, but it's the August expiration. So costs about $11 to get into with an 18x potential return if it goes all the way up to 15. So, all right. Yeah, Michael, I appreciate you coming. I appreciate everybody coming, all 150 something people that were here. Thank you, Chris. Hopefully we can catch up with you when you're in town soon. So for those that are still here, my father-in-law had brain surgery today, and he came out. Surgery went better and faster and quicker and smoother than they expected. Those are all good, great news. Potentially, he could go home as soon as this weekend. if everything keeps going smooth. So I appreciate everybody keeping us in your thoughts. Great comments, everybody. I love it. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again next week. All right. If you're in Discord, you keep up with the live updates. We'll see you. Now remember, Fed 2 p.m. tomorrow. Watch out for what happens. We'll see you guys.